Okay, after we have entered our transactions, then finally we would like to see the result of our transactions, i.e. we want to see the reports. We would like to see the trial balance, profit and loss account, the balance sheet, and we would probably also like to see individual ledger accounts. So before we start with doing that, because the system used by UBS for inventory is the periodic inventory system, where we do not keep track of the movement of inventory. On the other hand, what we do is that we update the amount of inventory that we have after each period. Okay, we do not keep track of the movements of the inventory, but we only update the balance after doing the physical counts of the inventory, and then we update into the account. We adjust the amount in the accounts, in the balance sheet account, stock balance sheet account, the closing stock account, and the opening stock account, and we will come up with the cost of goods sold, and after that we will be able to calculate the profit. So therefore, in order for us to produce profit and loss which correctly reflects our cost of goods sold, we need to update on the closing stock. Okay, in the exercise we have January closing stock. So after at the end of January, then this company might have looked at their inventory in their warehouse and found out that the remaining stock is valued at 48,218 ringgit and 95 cents. So we would need to enter this amount into our closing stock in UBS, so that UBS will produce the profit and loss correctly. Okay, so how do we do this? To maintain the stock values, we need to go to General and maintain stock values. Alright, so first of all, we need to identify or assign our stock account into the right categories created by UBS. Okay, so to do that, first we click the add button, and then here the BS account, this is the balance sheet stock account, we need to assign, because although we have at the earlier part when we created the chart of accounts, we have specified the stock accounts into either balance sheet stock or opening stock or closing stock, but UBS can handle different types of inventories or multiple types of inventories. Let's say if we are a manufacturing company, we can have different types of inventory, such as we can have raw material inventory, we can have work in process inventory, as well as finished goods inventory. So that is why we need to classify the code here for each type of inventory, because in order to produce the financial report, we will differentiate between the different types of stock. Okay, so here coincidentally in this case we only have one type of inventory. Okay, so we need to enter here the codes, the chart of account codes that we use for the stock or the inventory. Okay, so for the balance sheet stock, it's in the series of 3000. Yes, this is the balance sheet stock. So to enter the opening stock, we can refer to here to find out the accounts for our opening stock and closing stock. Okay, So the opening stock is 6,000 series. So this is the opening stock, and then here we find the closing stock. Okay, so this year opening stock, in our question we have an opening stock, this year's opening stock. Coincidentally, the company's operation is the accounting year is starts from 1st of January, and we have the opening balances. So the stock opening balance, that would be opening balance at 1st of January, which is 9,000. So we would enter this year opening stock at 9,000. Okay, and then we need to enter the closing stock at month end. Okay, the UBS UBS can create reports monthly. So and it allows the entering of closing stock at each month. Okay, so we have our January closing stock. Yes, we have our January closing stock at this figure. $48,218.95. Okay, and then this January stock figure, and we click exit. Okay, now we have established the closing stock. UBS will now be able to produce the profit and loss correctly. Okay, so let's see what sort of reports they will want to produce. It says here, print the following information. First of all, it's your chart of accounts. This is to show all of the accounts that is available in our database. Okay, so to print the chart of accounts, I've shown this before. Click print chart of accounts. If you want to show the general ledger accounts, then tick that one. If you want to show the debtors accounts, then tick the others. Okay, so these are the accounts in our system for GAN 9 Berhad. Okay, next we want to see the trial balance as at 31st of January 2010. To do that, we click reports and we trial balance. Okay, so it asks us till which period you want to show the trial balance. We want to show only the first period, January. Okay, account, leave it as is. Click OK. Okay, so this is our trial balance. See, you can see we have a balanced account. Our capital account ending is 50,000. Profit and loss is 10,000. That's the profit and loss from last year. And we have our furniture and fittings and all other accounts. Okay. Right. So next we want to see the trading profit and loss account for the month ended 31st. And it says here the closing stock must be adjusted, and we have done so. Okay. So to produce the profit and loss, click reports and profit and loss account, and we can show this month, where it will show the cumulative performance for the current year, which is 2010, and also a column for the month. We can also use comparison for this year and last year, but because we don't have any last year information, so let's pick this one and specify the period, because we want the profit and loss to show the year ending 31st of January, and click OK. Alright, so this is our profit and loss account. We have this is the category name, or the category name sales, and the account is sales. This month we have 19,600 of sales, and then this is the cost of goods sold. We have the opening stock 9,000. we have the purchases, and then we have the closing stock that we have entered before, and then we have a gross profit of 8,818 ringgit. And then these are the expenses. We have salary, rental, petrol, sundry expenses, and stationaries. Okay. And actually from here, this is the as shown in the screen, but you can also print it out just by clicking print, and then you will have the option of printing it into a printer or hard copy. You can also export this trading and profit and loss account to Excel sheet. Okay. Next, we want to see the balance sheet as at 31st of January 2010. To produce the balance sheet, click reports, then balance sheet, and we can also see comparison between this year and last year, or we can show this accounting year only, and specify the period. We want to show period ending 31st of January, so we choose period 1. Click OK. Can click send to preview. Alright, so this is a preview of our balance sheet. Okay, actually UBS produces a balance sheet that has columns for cost and accumulated depreciation, but we have not incorporated any depreciation into our transactions. Okay, so we have fixed assets which contain furnitures and fittings, office equipment and motorbike. We have the current assets, we have the debtors control, bank, and so on. We have current liabilities, so the total net current assets is 62,768. And then we have the capital, which is the capital and profit and loss account. This is a cumulative profit and loss account, which 10,000 comes from the previous year and 2,000 and over from January's transactions. Okay, so this is how we produce the balance sheet. Okay, next, we are required to see the print. We are required to print the bank account and cash account. Okay, so to see the individual accounts, we can there are two ways. We can either click reports and view ledgers. That is to view one particular ledger, but we can also click print ledgers that will show multiple ledgers. So let's look at view ledgers. Okay, so here we want to show only period 1 transaction, and date it's fine. Then account number, we select the account number that we want to show. We want to show the bank account. Click OK. So this is our ledger. Okay, so we have the balance brought forward, and then we have credit for furniture and fittings. We have credit for office equipment and deposit as well. Okay, we can also use the print ledgers that will show multiple ledgers. We can select which ledgers we want to show, not just one. So first we will specify the period, and then we specify which accounts we want to show. So we might, let's say we want to show only the assets, only the current assets. So we can choose the 3,000 through to 3,000. Okay. Now it shows the accounts in turn. So you have the bank account, and then you can scroll to the other accounts. You can go to the next account by pressing the play button. So that's the deposit account, and then we have the stock account, cash in hand, Okay, so that is how we produce the report.